one of the kind of surreal things is that you are starting this in a very odd time in the industry. How has it been for you starting this show in the midst of the end of one strike and the ongoing nature of another?
Well, it was definitely an odd time to premiere. We premiered the day after the writer's strike ended. So, we at least felt like we had two reasons to celebrate that day. So that was exciting, but we got to shoot 7 of our episodes before the strike shut down, and then we're going to be coming back to finish the rest of the season. So, yeah, it's definitely not something that happens every season to be split up by 5 months in between. But there's a lot of time to think about the show and how excited I was for it to finally premiere, and for people to finally get to watch it.
It's really great to see how your and the writer's room has been meshing with the way that Jesse is able to portray this character. I'm curious how much of this character you kind of formed with him, how much of it is him you writing to him, how much of it is him kind of giving his opinion, or just how much it is naturally this is a good marriage that works well together.
I think it is the perfect marriage that works well together, because I created a character of Alec, who is very intellectual, almost to a fault, who is always using his brain, not always using his heart, and he's so focused on work that he's neglected his personal relationships. And what Jesse Martin has done with this role is taken that character and brought so much empathy to him. And I think Alec is a more empathetic person, that his curiosity is not only intellectual, but there's a real caring about other human beings that comes across, and Jesse brought so much of that. And so, yeah, I think every time, in my life, every character I've ever written becomes kind of an amalgamation of the character we first created and what the actor is bringing to it. And in this case, I think I brought a lot of the characters magical intellectual superpowers, and his passion for his work, I think, is something that that the character started out with, that I created. And I think his phenomenal empathy, and making him that guy that you want to watch every week, that you wish was your mentor, I think Jesse brought that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious because obviously there is inspiration from a book, but I imagine like the amount of behavioral sciences in this is just absolutely fascinating. What has kind of been the line in the room of like how much you want to teach the audience? What are the lessons you're kind of bringing into these episodes that you're kind of having to dole out in pieces as it fits the show?
I think that's one of the fun and, dare I say, unique things about the show. I mean, we think we've seen every kind of procedural on the planet, and to a certain extent, the format, does not reinvent the wheel, but at the same time, we're doing something a little different. I like to say it's not a whodunit, it's a whydunnit, and we come to all of our cases through Alec's lens, which is through a human behavior lens. And why would someone do this in the first place? And and how do our brains work? But yeah, so every case, we'll have some kind of experiment, we have some kind of way that case illuminates human nature for the audience. And I think that's something the audience will find really different and interesting, and not something that they've seen before in every show.